right, good morning. I'm Constable Alan Rosen, and along with the Houston Police Department and EquiSearch, we are out looking for Wilson Stratton, a young man who's been missing for over a week now. And so as you can see, we have a lot of people involved in trying to locate him. It's very important to all of us that we find him as soon as possible, as the family is terribly worried about his well-being. And so as you can see, we're all working collaboratively to try to solve this case. So does anybody have any questions?
I guess, Alan, just share with us the latest where you stand right now.
The latest where we have seen him is kind of in the North Main, just north of 610, Independent Heights, kind of an area. So we're asking the public's help to try to help locate this young man and call the police, call the constable's office, call EquiSearch, call somebody if you see him. Obviously, we're going to share his picture with you to try to do the best that we can, again, to find him safe and bring him home. That's what his family wants.
How do you know he was in the North Main area? Because they said the last they saw him was just down the street. So is that new information?
We have witnesses, people that have spotted him as a result of the news broadcast last night. And so we're working with those leads. We have a lot of units out there looking for him. We have the missing persons division of the police department that's out looking for him. We have my office out looking for him. So that's our latest leads. And of course, we have to go with any and all leads that we get.
So when was that? When was he last seen up in the North?
I believe it was yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. So we're asking the public's help. If you see Wilson, if you see somebody that may look like him, please call law enforcement, call the Houston Police Department, call the constable's office, call EquiSearch, because I know it's important to all of us that we find him safely again and get him home to his family. They're terribly worried about him.
What resources is Precinct 1 giving to help in this search?
We've had an investigator on it since the day after he went missing. And so we've been working the case pretty actively, as the Houston Police Department Missing Persons Division has been working it as well. So there's a lot of effort that is going into trying to find him. And now we've got all of our patrol divisions, all of our units have his picture on their computer screen in their car. EquiSearch has put it out on their social media websites. The Houston Police Department has shared it with all their patrol units. So we've saturated it, and we feel confident that somebody's going to come forward and tell us where he is so we can go get him.
With that last sighting, were they able to tell how he physically looked? I mean,
I can't say that. I can tell you that this went out as a kidnapping report initially. It's not a kidnapping. From all indications thus far, we feel it's just a missing person. And so we want to dispel any of those rumors that this was somehow a kidnapping. There's no indication that it was a kidnapping. So we want to just do everything we can. We're treating it as a missing persons report. I know the family, Mr. Stratton, desperately wants to find his child. We want to help. That's part of the work that we do to try to help locate people that are missing.
So there's no confirmation that he was seen. It's just a report that you guys are given. Is there any confirmation, anything in that area on surveillance video really pinpointing him and seeing that he is indeed there, or is that just...
We are working that actively to try to see if there's any video footage. We are going on witnesses that say they saw him. And you know, that's often all we have to go on, is people that think he saw him, think that they saw him. So we're going to follow any lead of his whereabouts that we possibly can go. You know, so that's how a lot of police work is done, is through eyewitnesses. And then we try to back it up with, hey, he was in this geographic area, let's go look for some video surveillance that might confirm that he was in that geographic area. So we've got EquiSearch that does an incredible job of helping locate people. We've got the Houston Police Department does a great job of finding people that are missing. And so we're all working collaboratively to find this young man safely and to bring him home to his parents.
Mr. Stratton, anything you'd like to add?
I'd just like to ask anybody out there with any possible information or sightings, please contact EquiSearch, the Houston Police Department, or the Constable's Office. We are terribly worried about Wilson. We love him very much, and we ask that you all pray and help us bring him home safely.
Does it give you some hope, the fact you didn't know that information in the North Main area until just recently? How does that make you feel, knowing that there may have been a possible sighting of your son in the North Main area?
After a week of a feeling of complete hopelessness, that's something to grab a hold of, and that's what we're all looking for. The people who have helped us have been incredible, and we're just praying that is the result. We find him and find him safely and bring him home.
I'm going to play devil's advocate in this whole thing. I'm not as optimistic that it is him up there for that reason. That many of these calls are people trying to help, and it's mistaken identity, because we've also gotten calls over off of Westheimer, Hillcrest, over off of Boss and everything. So I think the information's getting out there. We're getting many tips. Again, I'm not that optimistic until we actually have him located. So we're going to continue doing what we're doing. Actually, the other searching in case something has happened. At the end of the day, when we don't find something, that's relief, because we know where he's not at. We hold on to that hope that he is okay. So again, I'm not as optimistic as a lot of people about these sightings, because over the years we experienced so many mistaken identities. So we know the detectives are running all these leads. We're getting actual flyers out to every area a new lead comes into to try to generate more attention on the case and hopefully get him back. But we're going to continue what we're doing, everybody working together. And of course, our goal is to get him back safely.
Well, I'm Lieutenant Manny Cruz with a Missing Persons Unit. I just want to remind everybody that the reason that we're so successful in finding people, or one of the big reasons, is involvement from the community. So, you know, when we're looking, it's just a few of us. When the whole community's looking, it's a lot more people. So if you think you see him, then err on the side of trying to let us know that it might be him. We'll take a look. We'll take a look, and we'd rather take a look at a lot of people that aren't him and still find them than not have the information coming in. So the more people that call in with what they think may be him, the better our success rate. So thank you very much.
One question: how difficult is it for you and your investigators, given the fact that, according to Tim, there's no digital footprint of him? There's no credit card transactions. There's no cell phone signals. There's no digital, in this day and age, footprint of him. How difficult is that for your officers?
Well, it makes it harder, but our investigators are used to working all kinds of leads. So the fact that we've had a couple of tips called in where he has been seen or spotted in the North Main area corridor north of 610, we move our assets to that area and look a little harder there. So we'll adapt to the situation as the information comes in. So the more information that does come in, we can kind of pinpoint the area that we need to be at, and better. So we encourage all information, please.
How do you know for sure that he wasn't kidnapped? He does come from an affluent family. He did disappear. He got something to eat before he was last seen. I mean, how do you know for sure that he wasn't kidnapped?
And we can't know for sure, but based on the information that's come in, the people that have called in with the tips actually had conversations with him. So, they kind of put two and two together, and we have at least that much, that he was able to converse with our possible witnesses. So that's why we're going with the idea that he's just out there missing right now.
And I would add one other thing. We do have some digital sightings of him, and he doesn't appear as though he's being held against his will. So there is that. So from a kidnapping perspective, we do have video footage. We're not going to share it right now, but we do have some video footage after he left the house that we do have. Secondly,
you're talking about the convenience store.
Yes. Yeah. So if he was being kidnapped, would he go in the convenience store by himself? So, I mean, we feel pretty certain. You don't know. Lieutenant's right. You don't know if it's kidnapping, but we feel pretty certain this is a missing person. Doesn't mean it couldn't be a kidnapping, but that's it. You know, all of us have kids. Everybody here has kids, I'm sure. And you know how frustrating and sometimes the anxiety that you have. So, you know, again, we're asking the public to do everything they can. If you don't want to call the police department to give a tip, call Crime Stoppers. They're really great about taking tips as well. And they give it to law enforcement. Law enforcement's embedded at Crime Stoppers. So be sure and do that as well. Thank you.